What is clearly a scam, but is so normalized people don't notice. Those registries that people pay money to name a star. I keep seeing advertisements on FB for companies that will give you official lord or ladyship for like 50, based on giving you the title to a small parcel of land somewhere like Scotland. I googled one of them once, and the first result was a breakdown of why the company is fraudulent and doesn't actually have access to any land anywhere. I think that would make a great base to a story about some Joe Schmo who buys a star and inherits the problems from that star's inhabitants. They come all the way to Earth after looking up the International Star Registry, and he has to deal with their centuries-old wars. Edit. Oh, wow. I didn't think this would blow up so fast. Thanks for the awards and thanks for encouraging a story out of this. I may just do such a thing. I will also look at those references everyone has suggested. This idea had been in the back of my head for many years. I had no idea anyone else may have thoughts similar. Funerals and everything to do with them. The funeral industry has insane pricing. Some of the funeral homes and vendors are even predatory, getting grieving families to pay upwards of tens of thousands of dollars. Because that's what the deceased would have wanted. You didn't love your father at all, did you? Was the question that had me slam my fist down on the table. My dad wanted a cardboard box cremation and no memorial. He got a cardboard box cremation and no memorial, with zero upselling from a different cremation service. The state hack got a complaint about the first cremation service. Printer ink, buy a laser printer. Expensive upfront, $100, $700, but pennies in the long run. Compared to inkjet, most come with scan/copy/fax features which come in handy in the work from home era. Edit, fixed spelling, added more tips. Thanks for the flair. Often, the point isn't the not noticing, but the having a lack of better alternatives. I hate Amazon as a company, but sometimes there is literally no alternative. Planned obsolescence, where products are deliberately designed to have a defect or worse performance shortly after the warranty has expired. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the upvotes and the rewards. Here are 2 examples on how companies can influence how long a product can last, using inferior materials and critical components, like using soft metal screws or cheap plastic instead of metal in stress-bearing parts. Companies know how long these components on average last, so they can strategically place them, designing the product so that components that often need replacing cannot be replaced by just anyone. An example is that a lot of products now have batteries that you cannot replace yourself anymore. Sometimes they are even so designed that even independent repair shops will have a hard time replacing these components. It is not only phones, but can be any electronic product. No shit, my car has a 60,000 mile warranty. 60,007 my transmission shat the bed. Edit, Chrysler. The third dealership I went to finally took pity and covered it. If you tell me the truth, I won't get mad. Mom. Did your mom also pull out that George Washington and the cherry tree bullshit? As a parent, I try my best to temper my reaction if my kids tell me about something wrong they did rather than me finding out by myself. Having to pay $100 for glasses. The prices are so high because the industry is used to the markup. Try these websites to get glasses super cheap, like $20. You can upload a picture of your face and virtually try on the glasses. Even the high density glass has become widely available, but traditional stores keep selling it like it was researched just last year. ZeniOptical.com, iBuaDirect.com, most mega churches. I remember an interview with Kenneth Copeland talking about how he needed a private jet to spread religion. And now the Lord has blessed him with 2 of them. Edab Joel Osteen too has just as bad, if not worse than Kenneth Copeland. One of them is literally ran by a man called Dollar. If that's not a clue, I don't know what is. Listen up. Everything is a scam. Everything. But if you send me 19.99, I can show you how to turn the tables on the scammer and get his money. Limited time offer. Send money now. Paying for cable TV. The whole idea of paying was to create a revenue stream separate from that of marketing. There are a few out there, HBO, I think, but generally we pay to access the content and still have to spend 20% of the time sitting through commercials. Then streaming comes in, and we're free of advertisements again. for a bit. Now YouTube has tons of ads and other streaming services are talking about adding ads as well. Netflix starts doing ads, I'm going right back to torrenting. Edit to ad, because I can't reply to everyone lol. I either do Netflix or find it free to stream. On those weird websites you need ad blockers for. Annual college tuition increases. Why aren't they held to a competitive pricing model as opposed to having to take out a mortgage to go to school? Everyone wants to talk about government paying for college education. But there is no conversation on why is it that expensive anyway, especially when some unis have endowments in the billions that just the interest on those funds could literally pay the tuition for everyone that goes through the door. Update. Wow. This went crazy. Thank you everyone for keeping it to a civil discussion on the topic as opposed to going on political rants. And thank you for the awards, kind strangers. Not only does tuition go up every semester, but the full ride financial aid packages that are 90% loans by the last semester. Every single person on the internet that sells some sort of millionaire education, it's all bullshit. Every single one of them. They are all fucking liars. Most of them are not even rich to begin with. They fake it enough that some idiots buy it. You are customers to them. Nothing more. Reducing a price by 1 cent to trick our brains into thinking a product costs less than it actually is. Or how gas stations take it one step farther to 9/10ths of a cent. Bottled water, like Dasani, especially in places like an amusement park that markups the price a shocking amount. Also the average markup of bottled water is 4000%, which is fucking outrageous. BC water is literally free most places. I'm fuzzy on the details, but Warped Tour got in a lot of legal trouble here in Canada because of water. They were in the habit of taking any water bottles or drinks from you when they checked your bag at the gate. Then you get inside and everything costs money. The energy drinks and pop cost less than the water. So most people would buy those instead. One woman bought energy drinks all day because it was a hot summer day and she wanted to save money for merch. She had a heart attack and died. Now they aren't allowed to confiscate water at the gate. Hot MILFs in your area. It is my understanding that they are interested in meeting me tonight. Scientific journal memberships, where academics pay journals to publish their papers which are then peer reviewed by volunteers. And the journals themselves are then sold by subscription. College textbook prices. It's crazy how ridiculous expensive they are, putting even more of a financial burden on students. It's amazing how one of the professors at my school wrote whatever science book we used for that class, and they'd magically put out a new version every semester. So your 180 Gen Chemical Ed 6 could only be returned for $5, since Ed 7 had just come out. Edit. To put this in context, college was the first time I saw high-speed internet. PDFs online was not really a thing yet. Diamond rings for marriage. Basically the entire wedding industry. Starting a new life together? Why not plunge yourselves into thousands of dollars of debt? Anything people do because of tradition is ripe for scamming. Marriage? Scam. Funeral? Scam. Baby shower gifts? Wildly overpriced. Cat food. Look at the cat food at a random store and see how the design brags about all the healthy vegetables they've crammed into your obligate carnivore's diet. Then check out the ingredients and see how corn, rice, etc. are often the first ingredients. Pet foods market toward humans by trying to appeal to human sensibilities, not genuine desire to provide your cat with the best diet. I've been using Costco cat food for a while because it's cheap and convenient. But I recently figured I should look into getting a better food. Turns out the Costco food, with fish as the first 2 ingredients, is better than 90% of the other stuff I looked at. I was pretty surprised. Those Keymaster games that usually have something like a Switch and a pair of Beats and stuff. I work part-time at an arcade and you physically cannot win a prize until the machine has taken its retail equivalent in cash. Is there any hacks to win this stuff? Payday loans. I used to work as a debt collector for a payday loan company in the UK. I was not a very good debt collector. People used to find out about the various loopholes that stopped interest being added really easily. I worked there just before Christmas. It is the job that made me go back into education because my soul. Loot boxes in video games. Legalized gambling marketed to children. The price for cable and internet. The diamond industry, specifically as it relates to jewelry. Everything that the average person knows about it stems from propaganda and advertisements created by De Beers. They aren't rare. They aren't worth what you pay for them. They don't appreciate in value and are a terrible investment. They aren't special. Health insurance in the US costs a small fortune, never covers shit, and you still end up bankrupt if you're not rich and get sick or hurt. Ink cartridges. Printer companies make barely any profit off of actual printers. They are just vessels to make you buy unreasonably priced cartridges. Hey, please print this document in black and white. Fuck you, give magenta. Minimum wage is staying the same, while the price of virtually everything else rises. Most kids shows are just long advertisements for toys.